Hi everybody and welcome to GG. As you can see, I've taken a seat right here on the edge of the turf track at Meydan Racecourse 2 days ahead of the Dubai World Cup fixture. What a meeting we have in store, 9 races, and I'll start by trying to find you the winner of the $12 million Dubai World Cup. Won last year by Country Grammar, and I think he can do it again and become just the second horse to go back to back in this. He's drawn wide, but not quite as wide as Panther, who beat him last time out in the Saudi Cup. I think a combination of the wide draw and the extra distance here is going to see the Japanese challenger just fade in that final furlong. Country Grammar, more of an attritional horse, can maybe go past. But what about Algiers? He's a serious contender here for Simon and Ed Crisford. I quite like him. He's been flawless in 2 starts despite wide draws here at Meydan. He's looked absolutely brilliant. He's a viable contender, but he hasn't been beating quite the quality of horse that Country Grammar has, so he is my tip. On to the Longines Shima Classic. We've got the best horse in the world here. Equinox has looked very, very good, including when winning the Arima Kinen last time. He goes up against last year's winner in Shariar, but Equinox comes here in much better form than that horse. The main rival to them might be Rebels Romance. Very confident is Charlie Appleby. Reckons this is his best chance on the night. Horse is 5 from 5 on the turf. He's a serious contender here, but again, he doesn't quite have the form of Equinox, so I'm going to stick with the favourite in this one. The Dubai turf, I make it between the Japanese again. I think that Serifos is very interesting, so is Do Juice. Eventually came down on Serifos because I think that the horse will see out the distance better than his countryman, so he's my pick here. But make no mistake, Real World will move up a lot for that run last time. It's his first run since being gelded. He was very disappointing, but he over-raced in the early stages here in the Giavellotto. He'll be a lot better at around about 10 to 1. I think he's interesting. And at an even bigger price, Vandergaard, twice placed in this contest, could be a nice each-way shout at around about 25 to 1. Gunite, one of my favourite races on the night, and Gunite is the class performer here. I don't like the fact he's drawn wide, but I'm hoping that his class, again, can overcome that. He's trained by Steve Asmussen. He's a Grade 2 winner in the States, and last time out he chased home Elite Power in Saudi. If Elite Power was here, he would be one of the favourites for the race. Moving on to the UAE Derby, this is really tricky. I'm not that keen on Cairo Aidan O'Brien's challenger because he's a grandson of Galileo and they just don't like the dirt. I know he's by Quality Road, but there's not much of him. He hasn't really impressed me in the mornings. There's a big difference between winning on the all-weather and the dirt, so I'm just going to go against him on that basis. I'm going to go for a real long shot in this. The Japanese won it last time. Maybe Perriere can do it this time for them. He's quite a big price, around about 12 to 1, but he's 3 from 4 in his career. Does have to prove he can stretch out, but he's my very tentative pick in that race. One at a bigger price for you, GG.CO.UK, shouldn't be overlooked here. Connections are very confident that this trip is really going to suit him. The Godolphin Mile, jumping around a bit, this is the second race on the card. I really like this event. Barthrat Leon is to win it for a second time, but last year he had a really good draw in 1. He bagged the rail and that was it. This time he's in 8. It won't be quite so easy. Isolate is impressed with his 2 runs here in Dubai. He steps up in trip. Connections are very confident in a big run from him. He's my pick in the Godolphin Mile. The Dubai Gold Cup, longest race on the card, over the 2 miles on this beautiful turf track. The most open race of the night, we think. Subjectivist returns, having won it in 2021, but he folded very tamely in Saudi last time. He's probably not the force of old, and I think this is incredibly difficult. Siskani's probably the worthy favourite based on his course form, but he's not certain to stay. I'll go for an each-way one once again. Giavellotto for the Marco Botti team. He's a nice, young, improving stayer. The trip should be no problem for him. I spoke to his jockey, Neil Callan, who seems fairly confident. Maybe he can upset a few of the big guns in that very, very open Dubai Gold Cup. Speaking of open, the Alquoz Sprint is as well. It's over the 6 furlongs on this course. And this is basically where you want to be, right up against this stands rail. So that's bad news for Suhail, who's drawn over there in 2. Good news, though, for Flaming Rib, but for trainer Hugo Palmer. Very fast horse, good win last time out. Has to step up and prove that he's a Group 1 horse, but I think he can do it. He's got a nice high draw. So him and Suhail are my tentative picks in that Alquoz Sprint. Can't ignore the Arabians who kick us off in the Dubai Kahela Classic. Again, a defending champion in first class. His trainer, Jean de Mure, incredibly confident that he can do it again. And the horse does come here in good form. He won the Jewel Crown on turf at Abu Dhabi in December. And they're confident that they've got what they need to win it again. And they reckon that with a lot of his main rivals drawn out wide, that this guy can take advantage. Those rivals include RB Rich Like Me, is my favourite Arabian in training. He collided with the rail in this race last year, which was really unfortunate. That won't happen this time. He's drawn out wide, but whether he's as good as he was last year remains to be seen. So that's the Dubai World Cup fixture. I've gone for a few brave ones. Let's hope that they come in. Good luck.